Hey everybody, we're back for another installment in this video. I went ahead and kind of prepped this LCD just a little bit. It's very short, so I taped on some additional pieces of glass down here at the bottom from a shattered old iPhone screen. The goal is on this Keydox LCD separator, we get a point where these little hinges can clamp onto the LCD screen. You can see we have our clamps here. We're just going to go ahead and look at sliding it in here. I just used clear packing tape to do this, so nothing too crazy. The bezel on this phone is just so slim. You can see it here that there's just nothing for these to grip onto to help us cut this off. So just modifying this a little bit to help us get some clamping surface here. I put about 3 or 4 or even 5 layers of the packing tape on this, and I made sure that it was nice and stuck to the phone. As we heat it up, it'll kind of want to slide around a little bit. So just sliding my LCD assembly in here, and we're going to go ahead and clamp down these 4 different clamps on the LCD separator. Now you don't technically have to have this tool. I find it very useful for these LCDs that have the backlight on them that you can jack up trying to remove with just playing cards and a heat gun. So you can use a hot plate, or if you can heat it up and then just use the wire to cut through it. Usually it would take 2 people if you're doing that, so this machine would just eliminate the second person. Making sure that we're not damaging the cables as we do this. We're just making sure we get them nice and tight on here. Alright, so the way that this LCD or separator works is it has this metal surface on here. It gets really hot. You can set the temperature. We're going to put it about roughly 180, 185 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll use this molybdenum wire. If you look in tools, you'll see it. And it comes with this cutter here that we can use to help kind of cut the glass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it right here on top of the glass while you wait for it to get hot. You can normally tell when it's hot enough because the back portion here will be nice and warm. Now as you cut this off, one of the goals is you want to make sure that you are forcing it downwards and not upwards. You want to cut this off towards the bottom of the glass, not upwards towards the LCD. Now it won't actually scratch the LCD screen because this wire is very smooth, basically. That's the whole point of using this special wire. I've heard you can use fishing line, but I've never done it myself. So we're just basically sawing motion through this back and forth. We're not putting a ton of force pulling on it. We're just moving it back and forth, and that'll basically cut through the glue that's holding the glass to the LCD screen. So back and forth. I did put gloves on as I can twist the wire around my fingers a little bit if I need to, and it doesn't necessarily hurt. So I'd suggest having a pair of those. You don't have to, but I find it to be a little bit more useful. So just working our way down on this. So you can see why it needs to be held in place with those extra pieces of glass that I taped on, just because this would really want to move around. You can see that the separator is coming towards me as I pull down on this. Now right here at the very end, you want to go nice and slow. You don't want to yank it out. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to go back up it and just really trying to get this glue to separate. Sawing motion still, just back up. It'll go a little bit faster since we've already gone through it. Just taking our time still. We don't want to force it. Just using the cutting motion back and forth. Do the same again. Now you can see how the LCD screen is starting to wiggle off of the glass. That's what we're looking for. It means it has full separation. Let's do it one more time upwards. We'll go ahead and unclamp the screen here. We'll go ahead and pull it off. You can see that we have the separation. Sometimes if it gets really sticky still, you may need to just use a playing card or something to help you separate through this. My wire is still stuck in here, so I'm just going to use that to help us kind of cut through it. Sorry for the going off camera there for a second. It gets a little bit tricky to do it underneath the camera with this separator here as well. So you can see that the screen is still slightly attached to the phone, or to the LCD. And we're just going to use just a spudger here to help separate some of the extra glue particles on here. Looks like part of the reason why it's doing this is I didn't get it super hot, but I'm also concerned about damaging the display. You can see all this residue on here is glue that's left over from cutting it off. There's a little bit of tape that's holding this glass to the LCD, which is something that I haven't seen before. This is the first time I've separated a LCD from glass on this particular type of phone, but it has that silver fabric tape that's on everything in this phone. Go ahead and get it separated there. Just didn't have to cut it, I just kind of peeled it off. Go ahead and move this out of the way. Now I know you're probably all are wondering, does this LCD even still work after you yanked it out of the mid-frame and then you cut it out of the actual glass? We're going to go ahead and test it here real quick. I haven't tested it since I removed it from the mid-frame. So let's see if it's going to function properly for us. A little bit tricky to remember which thing goes where, but we're going to put the LCD connector into this slot. We'll go ahead and just power the phone on. Then it works, and we should see a display here. Now you will have no touch functionality as the digitizer and glass are one piece on this phone. We're just checking to make sure that the display is still functioning, which it is. You can see right here the HTC logo is on here. We can go ahead and just remove some of this glue as we wait for it to load up. You can just use your fingers to help remove it. In the next video I'll actually show you the cleaning of the glue, as well as using the LOCA glue to re-adhere the glass to the LCD. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. The rest of the videos will be in the description. You can go ahead and find the links there. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.